Hi, Charles SirBookSage here. It is January 15th, 2021, and welcome to my Friday Reads. There's a book I bought, I think a couple of years ago, just Spur of the Moment book. And it has also 4 very mini short stories that are companion pieces to it. And I bought all 4 of those as well. And it's just something that's been in my Kindle library for quite a long time. And last night, just out of the blue, I was like, time to read it. No idea why. Each one of the short stories introduces one of the main characters. There's basically 4 main characters in this series, in this book. And each one is kind of like, this is what this character is doing right before the novel starts. And it is a post-apocalyptic dystopian, part urban fantasy, part high fantasy, part sci-fi, I guess. There was a huge catastrophe that destroyed much of civilization in this battle between the Earth and aliens. There's basically 3 groups of people now on the planet. You have your regular old humans, that still the same as everything else, and who are kind of at the bottom of the food chain. And then you have what people call changelings, which are basically humans who have mutated. And most of them have, they're shapeshifters in one form or another. And then you have what's known as the ageless, who are really, really interesting characters, because the only thing I know about them so far is there's not a lot of them, and they're kind of spread out across this land. They have the ability to shift their age at will. So let's say they're 30, they can become 5, and then 60, and then 30 again. And it's sort of a defense mechanism that they use. So if they get wounded, they can instantly de-age themselves to a younger age where they're not wounded, and then go back to their regular age in the wound, like it never happened. So we just got a little snippet of each of these characters. So one of the characters is one of the ageless. 2 of them are changelings, though very, very different people. One of the changelings is part of this hunter group. She's basically a killer. And a lot of them seem to transform into some type of feline. I'm not sure if it's a lion or a cheetah or something, but they sort of hunt like lion packs do. And the other changeling is part of this tribe who lives in this village. And everyone in this tribe can turn into this sort of alien animal. But they can also absorb kind of the spirits of dying earth animals and change into those as well. And one of their things that they feel is their responsibility, their duty, is if they encounter a rare alien, rare earth animal that's dying off, they absorb kind of the spirit and then keep that animal's memory alive by being able to change into that, and that becomes part of something that they can do. And the main changeling from that tribe is rare in that he can change into 4 different things. The alien one that they all can do, this tail horse, and I think a falcon, and I don't know what the 4th one is yet, and we haven't seen that. So each one of the little short stories kind of sets up their character. And I just started the actual novel now, and it's called The Last of the Ageless. And I have no idea what's going on. All I know is something big and powerful has killed one of the other ageless, and something I'm assuming is going to draw these 4 characters together. The regular old human, he's currently a slave, enslaved by changelings and others, and he's working on getting himself, he wants to escape and get the hell out of there. And the killer changeling, she was given this amulet by this old man, and she just put on just as a trophy from this village. And now she has some voice talking to her in her head, and she can't take the amulet off. That's kind of trying to get her to do something. So that's where it starts. One of the things I want to do in 2021 is get back to going to bed a little earlier and getting back to my in-bed reading. I used to do that all the time, where I'd go to bed and I'd read for 20 minutes or so, and then I'd go to sleep. And for some reason, urban fantasy kind of books fit best for me, where I can just read an urban fantasy book slowly over a period of time, just reading 20 minutes at a time here and there. So this is going to become my in-bed reading. It's only an ebook, and I guess a physical book probably as well, but there's no audiobook for it, so it's going to be a Kindle read. This will be something I'm going to be reading slowly over the course of probably the next month. But as for main reading this weekend, I did finish book 6 and 7 of Vorkosigan, and there's another book that is 3 novellas, the first of which you read much earlier in the chronological order, and the second and third novellas of this book you read after book 7, before you read book 8. So I did that. So I am now halfway through the Vorkosigan saga. I have 8 more books to go. And I was looking on Audible, and I think like 4 or 5 of the Audible books for these last 8 are free to listen to if you have like the main Audible account. So I picked up the ebook of Brothers in Arms, and that's my main reading goal for this weekend. Like I mentioned, if you haven't seen my 2021 reading goals, which actually I published on my channel earlier this morning, I'll link that. I want to finish one of these 4 series I'm reading by June, the end of June. And Vorkosigan now just has kind of made itself that series. I definitely want to knock Brothers in Arms out this weekend. That's my top reading priority. Plus, as far as Booktube goes in general, tomorrow morning I am filming my top 5 reads of 2020. I haven't been able to film that yet. I need a little time to put that together, so that's going to be my Booktube priority for tomorrow. Filming that video, editing it, and getting it uploaded. So that will be on my channel tomorrow on Saturday the 16th. At some point in the day, probably late afternoon. And really looking forward to getting that filmed and uploaded. I'm talking about those 5 books in particular and closing out my 2020 for Booktube. And as far as that goes, Vorkosigan I'm barreling through it now, and I want to get this series done. I may finish it far sooner than June, which is awesome if I do, but I'm really itching for that next Malazan book. So after I read book 9 here, I don't know if I'm just going to keep going for another couple of books or if I'm going to go to the next Malazan book, because I really, really want to get back to Malazan. And this is the last of the, shorter Vorkosigan books. I noticed just looking at Audible, books 1 through 9 are generally in the 9-10 hour range, starting with book 9. It jumps up to 18 hours. So the rest of the books seem to be much larger books. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if that means they're going to get more complex. I like the quick swashbuckling fun of these Vorkosigan books so far. So I'm curious to see, are they still going to be that swashbuckling fun story, just a bigger one, or is it going to start getting more complicated and stuff? We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't bog down. Just from general star reviews, every one of these books just seems to get really high rating. So before I go, I did publish my Honor Harrington First Impressions video. That's my second one in that series. I'll link to that playlist down below. You can watch Vorkosigan and Harrington. Once I finish the next Dresden book and then I finish the next Malazan book, I'll be doing a Dresden and Malazan video in those series as well. Looking forward to those. That's my Friday reads for this Friday. Let me know down below what your reading plans are for the weekend. And if you didn't see my 2021 reading goals, quick little preview. Starting July, reading Cosmere. Let me know reading order down below what you recommend, because there's lots of different reading orders. But go watch the full video so you can see what my whole reading plans are for the year. I'm going to wrap it up here. I am Charles, this is BookSage. Happy reading.